my name is Paco Rivera, and this is the Maximum Sentence channel, where we discuss recent crimes and convictions and the maximum penalty handed down. You can also follow me on Facebook for updates and more. There will be a link to my Facebook in the description below. About a year ago, on June 4th, 2024, a 23-year-old woman named Alyssa Venable shot and killed three much older individuals in the house where Venable was living in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Now, it's not clear in the reports if Alyssa Venable was renting a room there or if the others living in that home were just letting her stay there. What we do know from neighbors that were interviewed, Venable had been living there for about a month before killing three others living in that house. There was also one other man living there. His name or age was not shown in the reports, but he was the one who found the dead bodies in the house when he arrived home about 10 o'clock at night on June 4th. And he is the one who alerted authorities. I'm just guessing here, but it seems to me that 5 people living in the same house with none of them related to each other tells me that whoever the owner of that house is or renting that house was renting out rooms to other people in that house. And the biggest mystery with this case is the motive, the why. Why did this woman one day decide to kill everybody that was home that night? There are several theories which I will discuss a bit later. The house was located in Fredericksburg, Virginia, only about 50 miles from Washington, D.C. The crime was investigated by authorities in Spotsylvania County. Now, while this event was national news and all over social media at the time of the manhunt for Alyssa Venable, who was on the run for several days, there is very little details about the victims in this case. No photographs, and I don't see any obituary information on them anywhere. So unfortunately, I can't do a tribute on the victims. The 3 murder victims in that house was a 60-year-old man named Gregory Scott Powell. Now, a photo of Greg Powell I do have because it was shared by his daughter with the media. There was also a woman living in that house, apparently the only woman. Her name was Anne Reese, and she was 65 years old. And the oldest of the 3 victims was a man named Robert John McGuire, who was 77 years old. As I said before, there was another man living there, but I don't know his name or age because it's not being disclosed. And finally, also living in that home for about a month was Alyssa Venable, who was 23 years old. At some point late in the evening on June 4th, Alyssa Venable shot one of the male residents in the head while he was seated on a couch. That's where his body was later found. The woman, Anne Reese, was shot in the head while she was in the bathroom. The third victim, the other male resident, was found dead inside the car garage, and strangely, his body was covered up with a mattress and a table that Alyssa placed on top of him. Why she wanted to conceal one of the 3 bodies is also a mystery. Now, Alyssa had a dog, and apparently she loved that dog and was worried about what will happen with the dog while she goes on the run. So she took the dog and loaded it into her 2009 Honda Civic and drove to the home of a male friend and dropped off the dog there. And she left the man some money with instructions to please watch the dog for now. That man had also noticed that Alyssa Venable was acting very strange, is how he put it. Alyssa Venable had also put a letter into the mailbox of another friend with a note asking that friend to please take care of her dog. There was also some money in that envelope. On the note in the envelope, Alyssa had told that friend that she was on her way to California and that she will be taking her own life after she gets there. Why do that in California? The other roommate, who also lived in the house where Alyssa Venable was staying, arrived at the house about 10 o'clock that night and walked into a nightmare. And he notified police. Deputies from the Sheriff's Office of Spotsylvania County, Virginia, responded to the crime scene. And while they were on their way to that house, 911 dispatchers received another call from the friend of Alyssa Venable where she had dropped off the dog. He asked the dispatcher to please do a welfare check on Alyssa Venable, a welfare check on his friend, because she left her dog with him and she was acting strange, because she didn't appear to be in her right frame of mind. The dispatcher did not tell the friend that police were already on their way to that house after receiving a call about multiple dead bodies found in the home. Alyssa Venable immediately became the primary suspect in the triple murder. A huge manhunt began, or woman hunt in this case, I suppose, for Alyssa Venable and her 2009 Honda Civic. United States Marshals also became involved. Venable's cell phone was pinged, and wouldn't you know it, she had her cell phone on, and authorities got a ping from upstate New York. Authorities in New York were alerted, and a state trooper spotted her 2009 Honda Civic driving along I-86 in Steuben County, New York. She was still driving the same car, her car. So Alyssa Venable either wanted to get caught or she was just plain stupid. I'll give her this. Venable did manage to get a hold of an Ohio license plate and put that on the car. She switched out the plates. Anyway, the chase was on. New York State troopers chased the Honda along the I-86 with speeds topping over 100 miles per hour. Another unit deployed spike sticks that punctured the tires on the Honda, and Alyssa Venable crashed into a wall, and she was arrested. A gun was also found in the car. Venable was later extradited back to Virginia. On February 24th of this year, 2025, Alyssa Venable pleaded guilty to the murders of her 3 roommates. I suppose pleading guilty was a calculated move to keep her from getting the needle. And in June of this year, about 1 year after committing the crime, a judge in Spotsylvania County sentenced her to 99 years in prison. If I'm not mistaken, parole was abolished for most felony offenses in the state of Virginia, which pretty much means that Alyssa Venable will die in prison. So why did Alyssa Venable kill her 3 roommates? One theory of the motive was that Alyssa Venable had learned that there was about $7,000 in the home. It's not clear if the money was from a combination of all the victims or belonged to just one of them. But investigators stated that several witnesses had confirmed that there was about that much money in the house. However, no money was recovered from a search of the property. And even though Alyssa Venable had left some money with several friends asking them to take care of her dog, it's not really known if that was part of any money stolen from the home. And no large amount of money was found on Venable when she was captured. If she hid that money somewhere, she's never going to get to see it because of the time that she will be spending in prison. It was also reported that about a month before the murders, just before Alyssa Venable moved into that house, she was working at a McDonald's and assaulted a coworker who did file charges against her. So, aside from losing her job, she had those charges pending. It's possible that all that had just set her off. Yet another motive considered was that this was what is referred to as a thrill kill. That Alyssa Venable killed 3 people just to know what it was like to kill. Please remember to subscribe for more of these true crime stories so that you're alerted when the next one comes out. You can also follow me on Facebook for updates. There will be a link to my Facebook in the description below. My name is Paco Rivera. Take care and bye for now.